Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to check out the status of our 15-pound Thumlers barrel. It's got some Mexican crazy lace in it, some Untitled, some sodalite, and some Botswana Agates. Then we're going to check out our Extreme 17 barrel, and it is loaded with the Kino haul. That should be fun. Let's check it out. So here we have our Untitled. It's coming along. These are the first three pieces that are ready. This one's got a little bit of white on it, you can see there. It's kind of nice. These three pieces are moving on, ready for the next stage. Next up, we have our sodalite. This stuff is obviously just beautiful. Excuse me, with the blue and white. It's got a little bit of pinkish color to it. This one's almost all white. Kind of nice with that little windswept blue streak through there. This one's got a little green and black hint going on. That's cool. Just pretty rocks. Excuse the coughing. So this is the crazy lace, which is just gorgeous always. I mean, look at that. That is truly a party going on. Big fan of the crazy lace. This one right here, oops, has some nice color. Everywhere you look, it's a party. This one, my favorite so far. It's got different rings going on. Here. Yeah, and I like the fact sometimes it's nice to tone down the color a little bit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about this. And then my favorite, the Botswana Agate. I tried to limit this to 4, but I couldn't do it. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Can the camera catch that? I don't think so. Look at that banding. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Look at that. Yeah, it looks like an eye. Even when it doesn't have banding, this stuff is gorgeous. It does. Can you look at that? Look at that. So fine banding. That is Mother Nature's work, artwork at its finest. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Okay, that's it for the Thumlers. Let's see, move the camera over here. This is the stuff that's ready to move on, mostly the sodalite. Got one Botswana Agate ready to move on, and I've got one Mexican crazy lace ready to move on. This is the barrel that goes back in the tumbler. That's a lot of rocks right there. Okay, folks, next up is the Kino haul. So I was just loading up the 15-pound barrel to replace some of the rock that has ground down and some of the rocks that I pulled out to move on to the next stage, and I realized I am out of rocks. I put in the rest of my Botswana Agate and I put in the rest of the sodalite, which is what you see here. But now I need to order some more rock to put in there next week. So if anybody has anything they'd like to see put in this barrel, this is kind of the internet purchased rock barrel. So if anybody has anything they'd like to see put in there, by all means sound off and I'll try to make it happen. So here we are with the Kino haul, and in no particular order. These are the fire agates from the Guzman family. I paid $2 a rock for these things, and I figured that they wouldn't be worth it. There is no fire in here whatsoever. If you buy the expensive ones, which are about $500 or $600 for a rock this big that is just beaming with color, they are amazing rocks. They truly are. Like I said, they're very expensive. These were $2 a rock, and it shows. I was hoping maybe I get a little something out of here, but no, there's nothing. No color. Maybe if I buy these again, I'll have to splurge and get the ones that are, $10 a piece or something, because there is just nothing to be had here. All right, so that is the fire agates. Next up is this is the amethyst from Zambia. This is what I bought the most of, and it's a good thing. Remember, they had a huge barrel of this. I paid $4 a pound. Most of the pieces in the barrel were really small. I had to dig through there like crazy to find some decent sized pieces, and I'm pretty happy with it. This is a huge change from whenever I put these things in here. All these rocks have only been in the barrel 1 week, and these look nothing like this a week ago. I'm a little irritated that I don't have a picture of those. I did put out a video called the Kino haul. Unfortunately, it's not that great of a video. I was still learning, and still am. My channel's new. So, but anyway, these are the amethysts. I'm real happy with the way these guys are turning out. This is the blue Chalcedony. And once again, beautiful. Nothing real fancy. I don't see any banding. Oh, wait, what is that, banding? Maybe not. Just, pretty blue Chalcedony. This stuff was $10 a pound. It's pretty. No banding, but I still like it. It's got a long way to go. This is real rough stuff. This one is called, well, they call it Opal from Honduras. And so far, it doesn't look like an opal. I don't see any color. I don't see anything at all. If I found this on the street, I wouldn't bother picking it up. But Maybe maybe once we grind through that outer black layer, maybe that stuff will light up like a Christmas tree. We shall see. Actually, hold on. What is this? Do I see some color right here? Got it wet and all of a sudden I don't see any color. Yeah, we'll wait. Wait and see. And this rock is called Sunstone from Tanzania. You can see it's got a golden orange sparkly center to it. Honestly, I'm not that impressed with this stuff either. I feel like I could go to my local favorite creek and do some rock hounding and find something that looks like this. But it is what it is. This is I can't remember how much I paid for this stuff. Oh, $20 a pound. That's not cheap. Here, all right, maybe this stuff is in the wrong barrel. This is when I was in Arizona for the Kino. I went rock hounding one day to Saddle Mountain out there in Arizona, and I found this stuff here. Have no idea what it is, but it's kind of cool looking. This thing has got some banding on it. And then the rest of these are just really agate stuff. Chalcedony, agate. What's interesting about this stuff, this one's got a kind of a purplish hue to it. It's got some banding in there. It's really rough. But what I found to be most interesting about this stuff is this is a beautiful agate right here with all that beautiful banding and character. But this was found in the desert of Arizona. And even the rocks somehow look dry that come out of that place. I mean, look at that. That is a beautiful rock that I found at Saddle Mountain. Okay, moving right on. So this thing here is Geode, as mentioned in the Kino haul video. Some of those sellers at Kino aren't the most organized people in the world. So they had a bin full of these things that simply read, Geodes that fluoresce lime green. That's all I know about this thing. I haven't even tested it to see if it fluoresces. I do have a black light. I don't feel like running upstairs right now. So maybe next week we'll put a black light on this thing. But that's the geode that fluoresces lime green. Next up, we have this is Larimar from the Dominican Republic, and the lady who sold me this stuff said it can only be found in the Dominican Republic. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's got some real beautiful, baby blue, powder blue color to it. Everything's coming along. This looks a lot different than it did when I put it in. Next up is Liddicontite. This, as you can see, has a really cool color of purple to it. And that is the Liddicontite. Next up, we have Fluorite from Mexico. This stuff looks like glass. I've never dealt with fluorite before. Sorry for the phones going off all over the place. So this stuff comes from Mexico. I paid $6 a pound for it. I wasn't really sure if this is what I wanted, so I bought the small stuff, which was the cheap stuff. I'm wishing now that I hadn't bought the small stuff because it's too small. I think I'm gonna, when you tumble things, everything gets a little smaller, and when you start off small, that's a bad thing. But it is really cool, translucent stuff, all the colors. So that is the fluorite. This stuff here is Kambamba. That's hard for me to say. I think this is from Madagascar, maybe South Africa. But it's cool stuff. I lost my label that I made, so I can't remember how much I paid for it. But obviously, it's got the eyes all over it. I think it's labeled Kembaba Jasper. So it's just a cool green rock with eyes all over it. I think it'll look really cool when it's done, when it's tumbled. I tell you, this thing came in a huge rock, and I had to break it up with a hammer and chisel, and that was no easy task. In fact, I still have a couple of really big pieces that I just could not break. Next up, we have Chrysocola. This stuff is pretty cool. You can see it's got a two-tone on there, and it's got a band that looks like it's kind of a greenish chalcedony, and I'm not real sure, but this stuff right here, this darker blue, when this rock was raw, it felt like powder. I wasn't sure if this stuff was going to rub right off of there or not, but now I'm confident that it's not going to rub right off. This is some pretty cool looking stuff, and I'm pretty sure it will continue to be cool looking stuff all the way through the process. So that's it for the Kino haul, folks. So this is what we're adding to the barrel. I took the fluorite out because I think it was just going to wear down into nothing. So we're going to add this stuff. We got Mystery Rock number 1, which looks like a garnet, but it's purple. I just don't know what that is. Then we got the Tanzanian Opal in the middle, and Mystery Rock number 2, which is also a purpley color. So that's the new stuff that's going in the Kino haul barrel, and this is a wrap, folks.